What's up, everyone? I'm Tamara and welcome to my YouTube video. So today we're going to talk about borderlines, the worst person. Everyone knows that borderlines have a favorite person. Most of them do. And this is somebody that they fully trust, that they have a special connection to, that they want to check in with all the time, that it's their safe person, and they can make this person feel extremely special, extremely important, extremely wanted, but they have a very deep connection to this person. And if they lose this person or this person stops being their friend, they're going to try to attach really quickly to someone new who then becomes their favorite person, the person that they look up to, the person that they can hold on to, the person that they can connect with when they feel down and out and lost. But there's also a worst person, and the favorite person can shift into the worst person. A family member or an acquaintance can shift into the worst person, and it can happen really easily with borderlines, which is one of the hardest parts about being connected with someone who's a borderline, because when they get upset with you, you feel like you have robbed a bank, you feel like you have stolen from someone, you feel like you have committed a crime, because that is the level of punishment that they give you. They punish. And it's something that I wish borderlines could understand, but I don't know how well they can understand it because they're filtering through so many things. And being a borderline, we know, is a really tough life. My heart breaks for them, but my heart also breaks for the people who also have to interact with them when they are receiving a punishment for something that they really didn't do anything to deserve. That is really tough. It's toxic. It's difficult. It keeps the toxicity going, which is why one of the criteria to be a borderline is they have turbulent relationships. And if you could help them to fix those turbulent relationships, things would be a lot better. But it's a part of the disorder, unfortunately. I know someone who has a borderline mother who was a really great mother, did a great job raising her children, has done a lot of great things for a lot of people, can be incredibly awesome, talented, gifted, creative, all of that stuff. But every single holiday is ruined. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Easter, every birthday, every time they get together, when it's time to leave, a fight starts every single time. Like, it is a rarity that doesn't happen. Why? Abandonment fears are triggered. You're leaving me, and now I'm going to start a fight. Now, they are not thinking that clearly about it. They are just very, very triggered. With borderlines, you have to walk on eggshells. And I know this person who they coached themselves, okay, this time we're not going to fight, we're not going to argue. It still happened because it's like walking on a landmine. You don't know when you're going to step on it. And it could be anything. You could say something is pretty that they think is ugly. You could say, can I have that pencil? Or you could say, hey, let's take a selfie before I go. You moved. Yes, you did. You moved. You weren't still. Now that turns into a fight. So it's very difficult not to get into huge arguments with a borderline. And even if you remain quiet or you decide you're not going to engage, just the slightest thing can tip them off, and then now they're not speaking to you for days, for weeks. They're blocking your phone calls, like you have done something really wrong, when in fact you might have just had a very small argument about a shoestring. So it's very difficult for the people who have to engage with borderlines to know how to handle those situations. You can watch a borderline focusing and targeting someone where they're attacking, picking on the person, tearing them apart, picking on them for every little tiny thing because they have abandonment fears. So here are a few tips that can help you. You want to genuinely listen to their feelings, even if they differ from yours, just like anyone else. You want to genuinely listen. Number two, you want to validate their feelings, not their behavior, because sometimes you may not agree with what they're saying, but you can tell them, I can understand that you feel this. Even if you disagree, you're not lying. You are still validating what they're saying, even if you disagree with it. And just know that number three, you're talking to someone who has deep trauma, and sometimes they can revert backwards when they get into a painful place. They can have arrested development, which means that they can revert back to a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old. And it's like, I can't stand you. They may scream, they may kick, but there was a break in their development. Even with the most highest developed borderline, very high functioning borderline can still go back into a very difficult place. You want to set boundaries, and that doesn't mean that you have to be mean, but it means that you do have to be firm. You can say, I understand how you feel. I will do this for you, but I cannot and will not handle or do this. And you have to stick with that. Now, if you think that even though you're being politically correct and you're saying things in a very polished way, that's not going to trigger them, it probably is. There's the potential there. But sometimes you have to stand your ground. I understand that you feel hurt by that person, but I will not stay in the room when you attack that person in that way. Now, they're not going to take that in very well, and that's where the problem comes in. They have a huge blind spot for seeing what it is that they're doing. And some people say, oh, they know what they're doing. I'm not so sure. I think their defenses start to try to protect them from getting damaged or hurt. And so sometimes they don't see themselves. They don't see that you're attacking this person. You're putting them down. You're belittling them. They can dish it, but they can't take it. So if you correct their behavior or you try to tell them something, more than likely they're not going to accept it well. Now you're horrible, terrible, and I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to scream at you. I'm going to have a tantrum. So it's very difficult. And sometimes you have to just accept that this is who they are, as painful as it is to accept that someone's skeletal makeup is made this way, even though you see them functioning normally, maybe 75-80% of the time, that 20% can be really difficult. So just hang in there, get support, validate yourself as well, comfort yourself, take good care of yourself. And if you're having difficulty with a narcissist, you want to check out my book, The Workplace NaRCISSiST, because I'm going to give you a lot of tips and strategies for how to deal with difficult people, period. And it may even help you when you're dealing with a borderline as well. So you guys take care. Make sure you share my channel with people that you think it will help. I've studied personality disorders for a long time. I like being able to support you, so check out my book. It's by Tamara Zyon on Amazon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.